Paint by Nate here, doing kind of a paint along thing, kind of a challenge thing. The folks at Alexandra Art are doing a one episode where they'll review what you paint if you send it to them. So I don't know which episode exactly this is. He has a picture of it there. It's like a mountain and some trees, but it's using yellow, red, and blue and white. And again, yeah, if you paint this one too, you can send it to them and they'll review it for you. So I think this is Tom Anderson. He's the one leading it. So yeah, we'll be painting along with Tom. I don't have anything on the canvas yet, and this is titanium white, cadmium yellow hue, or Hansa yellow. This is ultramarine. I don't have any phthalo blue, so I'm using that, and then alizarin crimson. And first thing I have to do here, and I did get a new microphone as well, so if it's too loud or something, just let me know. This is a jar of titanium white and linseed oil that I use for liquid white, and I'm using the water mixable oils today. So we're just going to cover this thing with the thin white paint, and it takes about 2 teaspoons. I measured it out the other day, and it takes about exactly 2 teaspoons to cover this well of the liquid white. So if you're a measuring person, you want to measure it out. That's for a 16 by 20 canvas. That's how much I use. It seems to be the perfect amount. So I'm just covering the canvas right now. I don't really need to do the test anymore to see if I have too much liquid white on. I used to have to do that a lot, but over time you don't really need to do that anymore because you just kind of know. Unless you're using a different size canvas. Like if I was using a 16 by 24, I don't think I could, but on a 16 by 20, I usually am able to estimate how much paint's needed. I'm just doing, kind of brushing it in, trying to get it in between all the leaves, making sure there's like a string or something there. I don't know what that is. I'll smack that in. I usually mess up and don't put any in the middle, so I gotta make sure I got some in there. And the way I can tell is just I kind of use the light, so the light kind of hits it, and I look at the side, see what's shiny and what's not. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty good here. And I go left to right, up to down, back and forth. And that should be good. And yeah, Tom's showing on this video here that you can scrape off with the palette knife if you have too much. I got quite a bit here on the towel and left in the brush. I'm just gonna make sure I got it over here. It doesn't look too shiny. And a lot of times I don't get it in the bottom either. So I'm just making sure. Because this is one that I'm gonna try to send to them, I don't know if it's a contest or what they're doing, but they're gonna pick 6 or 7 random people and review their paintings in the next episode. And I think that'd be normally they do that in their master class, and their master class is kind of expensive. Like I don't think I'd really swing the price for it yet, but they're reviewing them for free, so it's kind of a good deal. And this is just water and soap, and since I'm using the water mixable oils today, I can just wash it off in soapy water. So I think this is good. The canvas is good at least. Might be some spots that aren't. Oh yeah, that's fine. If you touch it and you have paint on your finger and it's not a solid, then you're good. You're good to go. These paintings they do where it's only a few colors I struggle with because I'm colorblind. So if I use weird colors, please tell me in the chat or wherever. Leave a comment afterwards. Say that's a completely wrong color, because that helps me out. I recently found a guy actually on Alexandra Art's website. They have like a subscription thing where you can get a bunch of videos every month. There's a guy named Robert Warren, and he will tell you like how much of each paint by measurements. So like if you need peach, for example, you do 1 inch of titanium white and a 1/16 of yellow, stuff like that, and it'll tell you like exact measurements. For me, that's really helpful. All right. I don't think this brush is completely cleaned off. I did want to thank, hey Billy, how's it going? I wanted to thank 2 people. So Jolene and Uncle 60, they recommended putting 2 soaps in the water for water mixable oils, and I found that helps a ton. I'm using, I can't remember what brand this is. I think this is olive oil soap. So I have olive oil soap in there, and I have linseed soap, and the combination of both of them works really well. Before I was using dish soap and my brushes would stick together. So, but with these 2 soaps, they seem to be doing okay. All right, so it looks like Tom up here on the screen, he's using a 1-inch brush, and he just went into alizarin crimson, and then he's kind of putting it up here in the middle. I don't want to put too much of it because it's very strong. So I might just do a little bit here, maybe go to the right, maybe a little bit to the left. I think that's good. And the rest of it I'll just blend out. He put a big block there, but I don't think I'm gonna do that here. All right, so I'm just gonna wipe this off. And then we're just gonna blend this out. Just want like a light pink haze kind of back here. I'm pretty sure these are mountains, so they'll get covered up anyway. Or I'm putting in mountains later. So. Yeah, so we're just going left to right. And he's using the 1-inch brush. I don't know. Normally I use the 2-inch brush for this, and it goes a lot faster. But just trying to follow the video, make sure I do all the steps right. Don't miss anything. We're going to be mixing the color here in a second. All right. What's he doing? Got some blue, and this is ultramarine. That's the color I'm using. I actually like ultramarine more than phthalo blue. I don't know why. It's a little bit more vibrant to me. But he's got a little bit of blue, a little bit of crimson. Oh, magic white. And I don't have the magic white. I've only got this is just oil and titanium white. I'll put it down here. Over there. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit of this blue and a little bit of magic white. Mix them up. Wipe the knife off. Get our old 1-inch brush that we were using there. And then we're just throwing that up in here. It's a very pale sky he's got there. I might actually do this different. I might just go straight into the blue. Because when I use colors, like light tones of colors, I just can't see them at all. My eyes just don't work like that. They're broken. Probably need glasses for it, but all right, we're just scrubbing back and forth, left and right, putting in some colors. All right, we're just covering this in. I'm honestly about to switch to the 2-inch brush because it's just too slow. But alright, so just scrub this one in. I don't like having lines. I don't know, like little lines everywhere. So I try and blend all those out. It's easier with the 2-inch brush. Whoops, I think I had a blob on the bottom. So if you're ever doing this and you get like a random streak like that, it's usually you've got a glob somewhere on your brush. I have that happen pretty often, so I know what causes it. And then to get rid of it, you just got to go over it a bunch of times. Alright, so we got that. We got like a little, what kind of looks like a cloud, maybe. I'm going to try and scrape this brush out here, get all the color out. And then, what's he doing now? He's doing some more crimson, some more blue. And this is in the water, so we're just gonna throw it in down here. And he's just going left to right here. I'm just going to start at the bottom and kind of work my way up because I have a bunch of liquid white on here, so it should get lighter the higher you go up. At least in theory. And I don't know how much of this will actually show. I only know that there's a mountain up here somewhere in this episode. So we're just scraping this in here. I'm going to go down towards the bottom because I don't want these canvas weaves showing. So these will also probably all get covered up, so it probably doesn't matter, but just something to start with. Alright, so we got that. And he's using some more blue down here at the bottom, darkening the corners. And I'll do the same over here, just a little bit darker. Doesn't have to be like solid blue. This would also be a lot easier with the 2-inch brush, but he's not using one, so I'm not going to use one for practice. Alright, I think that's good. This side could be maybe a little bit darker. He's right over here. Left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. There we go. Good. He's also, I think looks like there's going to be an island in here, so I might just touch that in so I know there's an island that's going to go in here, just so I remember. Alright, so we got sky, some red in the sky. I'm going to let this brush out. For these ones, I don't rinse them off. The natural bristle ones, I don't rinse them off in the water until the very end, because if you do that with the water mixed oils, they just kind of go like this. They just get like super puffy, and it makes it hard to paint. So I try to rinse them off in the water as little as possible. This one, like these Trilon brushes, I think I washed this one. Yeah, I'd washed this one already, and I could easily use that one again. But I'll put him over here because I don't think I need that brush anymore. Alright. We're going to be putting in a mountain, it looks like. So I'm going to get my palette knife. I'm going to make sure. This is where it's going to get a little messy because I have to start mixing colors. So I think we've got some blue. We got some red, crimson. I don't know if we've got any yellow. Probably do. I also don't know if I mentioned what paints I'm using, but I'm using a combination of these three, white, yellow, and blue, are Lucas Berlins, and the crimson is Winsor & Newton. I'm just trying to use up my old paints. And I don't recommend that you mix up paints like this if you're painting, because they use different binders, so they dry differently. It can be kind of annoying. It looks like this blob of white is actually moved. I don't know if that's good or not. That's probably bad. Oh well. Alright. So I rinsed this off. Tom's drawing a giant cross on his giant X. I think he's just trying to tell you that you don't want to put your mountain in the middle because it messes up the perspective. You usually want a mountain to the left or to the right. But if you want to put one in the middle, I don't have a problem with it. I put them in the middle sometimes. Just depends on what you want to do. And again, they're doing they'll review these paintings if you submit them to them. So if you do paint this one, just email it to the folks at Alexander Art. I don't know how long this thing's running for, but they are. I think it's in June, and they'll accept them until the end of May. If you just email them a photo. He's blending out the water, blending out the sky. I kind of just want to skip this and go straight to the mountains. I think I will. I know how to do these things, kind of. A C shape, so I'm going to do a C shape for the clouds. All right. A C shape like this. I can do that. Here's the middle of the cloud. C. C. That's terrible. It's ruined. I've ruined the painting. No. No, I haven't ruined it. The painting is never ruined. Alright. I'm just going to blend out the bottoms. Blend this up. Blend that out. I'm going to add a bunch of rows of clouds because I like adding clouds in like this. I'm going to do another one. Maybe up here. Something like that. Pull these up. Blend that out. Where else should I add a cloud? Where would be a good spot for a cloud? He's using the fan brush for his. I could do that too. He's got one further to the left, so maybe I'll put one in over there. This is just the fan brush, titanium white. Let's see. Something like that. I like fluffing the clouds. I don't know. You don't have to fluff them, but I feel like it makes them less harsh. There we go. Grab this guy again. Pull this up. Probably could have made the sky a little darker. That might have helped a bit, but just whatever. Whatever you want. So I got a nice little cloud here, some clouds there. Nice and fluffy clouds. Mountain time. Alright. My favorite. Actually, seascapes are my favorite, but it's interesting. People on Instagram tend to love mountains. People on Twitter tend to love seascapes. Unless it's completely random, but the stuff that I posted that's got a bunch of reactions on Instagram and Twitter tend to be like that. I don't know why. It's just something I've noticed. Okay. So he's using this color. You take purple, so that's red and crimson. And then I think we add in yellow. And that should make brown. In theory. This should be brown. Maybe this is a dark green. See, this is where I'm going to get into trouble, because I don't know how to mix colors properly. I think this is brown. It's like a dark green. Maybe some more blue. And I'm also using like a super strong red and a super weak yellow and blue. So I might get into some trouble. There we go. It's kind of like a grayish mountain color. Should be okay. Should be okay. Alright, let me get this color out of here. Otherwise I'm gonna mix it up. Cause some problems. I'm using shop towels to dry stuff off these blue paper towels, but you can use whichever one works best for you. Alright, what does Tom's look like? He's got... He says if it's gray, then it should... You should add red. Interesting. I feel like this color is okay for mountains, but I don't know. I think it's okay. Oh, come on, Tom. You're going so slow. I'm used to painting with Bill, and he goes hyper speed. Come on. Skip. Skip. Play. He's still talking about the colors. Oh my goodness. Alright. Skip. I'm about to just start throwing in mountains here. I'm getting antsy. I'm getting excited. Suspense is killing me. I'm gonna skip some more. Skip. Okay, now we're doing mountains. It looks like he's got some white in here. I like this color. I don't know. Looks fine to me. Looks fine to me. And for the mountains, it's really for the background or the base mountain color. You just start in the. I'll do it slow so people can see. I don't know who's watching or who will watch later, but if you start in the top left, go down to the right, you'll get a thin roll of paint every time. And then you take that and you just press it really hard into the canvas. Lots and lots of pressure. All right. So now we got that. And I don't want this color anymore. I kind of want these to be in the back, or these ones to be in the back, sorry. I shouldn't say that. Yeah, so we're going to take this darker color. Oops, that's too much. Start on the top, down to the right. And then, what are we doing here? Let's just go. Let's go for it. Just throwing in some dark colors here. Just scraping in that solid color. Kind of want this peak to go up a little bit more. And the rest of this probably don't matter. Should be okay here. Cool. And he's using this 1-inch brush again. He doesn't use the 2-inch brush in this. Very interesting. I'm just pulling down. I probably should have pulled this one down before I pulled down this darker one, but that's okay. The bottoms blend out anyway. They don't matter. They don't matter. Pull this one. You gotta be careful on this peak up here. You don't want to ruin it. Don't want to ruin that. Alright. And I'm just pulling down in some kind of shape that looks mountain-ish. Nothing exact. No science here. Just scribbling. Alright, I'm gonna rinse this brush out. I feel like this middle peak here is too harsh. He sticks out too much. I don't like it. There we go. Get rid of it. Get rid of the stuff you don't like. Easy peasy. There. I'm just rinsing this brush out. I think this looks okay. I kind of want to use a 2-inch brush here. I'm just going to do it. There we go. 2-inch brush. I missed you. Is this so much faster? With a 2.5-inch brush. I'll pull it up. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Pull this up. And that blends out the bottom, makes it look like it's a misty mountain. Just nice. Makes you happy. Happy to look at it. Like something in the Rockies. Alright. Make sure I got this dried off. Now we're going to grab... What are we doing now? We're going to use solid white on the mountain. Interesting. Which side is he highlighting? Ooh, left side highlights. Tricky. I hardly ever do left side. Let's see. I'm gonna add just like the tiniest little bit of red to some white. And you're probably saying, you can't even see that color. I can't, but just so I know that it's not straight white. Because I know when I add straight white, it's usually too bright for me. Alright, yeah, we're just highlighting these. And we're highlighting the left. So this might be a little tricky. There we go. I don't want to put too much on this one. I kind of want this mountain to look like it's just in the middle of nowhere. We're just pulling down. Just pulling straight down. And I did get asked by a couple people on Instagram how to do highlights. Because when they do them, they say they look like they frosted something. Kind of like this, actually. It looks like that. Like that's how their highlights look. I'm trying to think how to explain it. Because in the videos, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's just a gentle touch. It's just a gentle touch." But a gentle touch is kind of a individual thing. Like, what does gentle mean? You know. So let's see if I can explain this. So I'm starting on the top. Step 1, get the little roll of paint. Step 2, a lot of people hold the palette knife like this, like full hand. They go in. If you're just starting this, set it down on the palette. Just set it down. Start picking it up and try to find the fulcrum. That's the point where the knife is actually balanced, like perfectly balanced. And then move a little bit back. So for me, I'll try and bring this up. For me, the fulcrum is right here, and I want to move a little bit beyond that, so it tilts forward. And with this tilt, 2 fingers, you go up to the canvas, and you just set it. You set it on there, and then pull down. You'll get a highlight like this. I guarantee it. If you haven't highlighted a mountain first time, if you do it like this, you'll get highlights like that every time. As long as you got like a reasonable paint, it's not like some random store brand. 2 fingers, gentle. That's what they mean. That's the only way I found that I could explain it so it actually comes out like that. And the more you practice, then you can start doing stuff like angling the knife. You can start twisting it around, building different shapes, stuff like that. So I'm just going to start pulling this one down. I don't know if I want this one to be farther back or... I think he's okay. Maybe he comes over. Ooh, something like that. That's interesting. I'm going to throw this one in. What are we going to do here? My hands are a little shaky. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm streaming. Thanks, JK. I'm glad. Yeah, that's a good description. It's so hard. Like when I was watching Bob and watching Bill, and they're just like, be gentle. Use a gentle touch. I was like, what does gentle mean? No one's telling me what it means. But hopefully that helps. That's how I actually learned how to do double stroke rolls, because I still play, but I used to play like traditional drumming, like drum corps stuff. And that's how I actually learned how to do double stroke rolls, was you start with 2 fingers and then you find the fulcrum and get it to bounce twice. And that's how you learn double stroke rolls. Kind of the same as doing highlights on the mountain. So it's kind of cool. Cool parallels. Same skill set. If you want to pick up drumming, now you can. I'm just going to add a little bit of crimson here to this white and ultramarine color. I'm going to use this for the highlights, I think. Yeah, that's what Tom's doing. And I might need to grab a little bit more white too, because I'm using a good bit of it. Alright, so we're going to do kind of the same thing. Oh, that's way too much. Way too much. There we go. I'm just going to... And this is my foreground highlights. I'm going to throw some in there. I might throw some in here. And then pull this mountain even farther forward. Why not? And then these little mountains need some highlights. Or peaks, I guess. They're not mountains. Little peaks. Pull them in there. And these are left side highlights. I never ever do this side. So if they come out looking weird, that's probably why. Or I just need to practice some more. Alright. I need to do those background. Oh, I should have done the background ones first. I keep doing them last. That's okay. So I'm going to add more white to that dark or shadow side color. And these will be the highlights or the shadow colors for back here. So kind of the same thing. And they're farther back, so you don't want to be too distinct. They can just kind of just be hanging out. Nice light colors. There we go. And I'll blend these bottoms out too. But I did want to a little bit more white. I don't know if anyone's seen that video where I reviewed Lucas Berlins, but these are Lucas Berlins, a very sticky paint. That was a disaster. I have no idea what happened. I think my wireless router conked out and everything got disconnected, so I'll have to redo some stuff here, and we'll see if we can fix that later. Sorry about that, everybody. I'll try to do better next time. But alright. Now that the stream has died and everyone has left, we're gonna go back over here, grab that stream. I still have no idea what happened. Yeah, everything got dropped there for a second. I don't know. It was kind of weird. Internet all went down at the same time. Hopefully it's back now. I don't know. If it's back, someone tell me in the chat. Be like, hey, I'm here. Alright, so we got that up. We got that up. We got this. We got the TV on... Where is it? What is that? That one. Okay. Oh, Tom's way far ahead of me. So he's using this type of color here with a little bit more green and a little bit more white. Maybe some of this color actually, yeah. Something like this. And then maybe a little bit more blue. A little bit more grayish. That type of color. And then he's already gone all the way. Oh, that's actually quite a nice color. Nice tree color. Maybe a little bit more blue. And he's just filling in these, I guess they're foothills here. Here, we can get rid of that. Ding ding. Alright. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Alright. Got this color. And again, I'm sorry the stream cut out. I'll try to figure out what happened later. I think my whole house lost internet. So. I'm just filling in some green trees here. Man, I got a lot of hairs from this brush. That's no good. One there, one there. Oh no, it's in the mountain. That's not good. Whew, close. Alright, so that's cleaned up. I'm just gonna fill in. Did I just get it? Alright, he said this is land here, so I'm gonna leave that in. Last one, hopefully. Bang it out. And now we'll resume the stream. There we go. And he's got some some little shadows down there. Here we go. I'm not sure what he's doing now. I'll straighten up this just a little bit. It's too defined. In these trees, they should not be well defined because they're so far away. And you can actually pull them up if you want them to be even less defined. That's a Bob Ross trick, I think. You just pull. There we go. There we go. Alright. I'm going to go blend some more color here. White and blue. I think this might be pink. I have no idea what color that is. This is where we start getting into weird colors because I don't know what I'm looking at. He's gonna do some white down here, highlights or water lines. Those are just chopping in the canvas. I think that's fine. That's fine. Some fine water lines. Maybe one down here. And if you want some really good water lines, just take it and go flat. But I don't want to do that right now. Here we go. And I'm pretty sure there's trees here, so I'm not going to put any white in. Otherwise, that would, when I put more trees in, it would make them lighter, and I don't want to deal with that. Oops, there's some paint on me. It happens. Just making sure all my brushes are cleaned out before I do anything else. How are we doing on time? About a half hour, not bad. Alright. I wish he said how much of each color he was mixing. That would help me out a bunch. I think this is fine. I don't know. He's adding in some frost stuff. I'm going to skip this because I don't want to add in frosty stuff. I swear I've skipped at least 10 minutes of this video. Okay. I need to rinse this brush out real quick. Get the light color out. Because this is dark, very dark color I need to put in here. If I was using my regular colors, I was using ivory black or lamp black, one of those two. Alright, so let's use some red into that mountain color, maybe some green, some yellow, dark green, dark green, hopefully. If it's not dark green, I'm sorry, I'm not good at mixing colors. I'm just throwing in this dark color here. I really hope it's green. If it's red, I did my best. Alright. So we got that. This kind of goes down a bit more. Something like this. That looks fine. Alright. Then just pull down. Something like that. Reflections. Some type of reflection. That looks nice. I think that's brown. I can't tell. I hope it's brown though. All right, so he's got the little land here. These trees go up a little bit higher, so maybe I might extend those just a little bit. Very look however you want. And you can change it. Ooh, big tree, big tree. Let's go. Crimson, blue, green, or yellow. There we go. This is another fan brush that I had sitting there. Hopefully it's kind of the same color. I don't know. Maybe not. What's he got? He got one here. And then another little one right here. And then one right here. And then we're doing the little Z trees, it looks like. And one thing I want to try when I get a chance is Robert Warren, when he does these trees, he actually uses the flat brush, which is interesting. It's probably kind of like using the fan brush, but his corners came out a lot sharper, and I kind of liked it more than the fan brush. Getting this red. This red's very thick because Winsor & Newton very thick paint. Get some of the blue, some of the green or yellow. I always get that wrong. Right. I'll throw this guy up in. Oh, that's way too much. If you can see it over the lip, you got too much paint. What do I mean by the lip? I mean this little lip of the fan brush. Should not have a blob there. I'm just doing Z's. Z trees. Alright, get this guy again. That looks okay. Maybe. I feel like I lost everybody in the chat after that disconnect, but that's okay. Alright, work that out. He's doing the upstrokes too. I didn't use any of those this time. I don't use that type of tree, or do that type of tree very often, even though a lot of pretty much all the trees I have here, they point up like that. And they also do, they have very long needles on them. They're long leaf pines, very, very long trees. Alright, he's using magic white. That green color, it looks like. That looks fine. It's not a bad color. I don't know. I like that. That's a nice color. I think it looks good. I know some people don't like. I do get comments sometimes. People really hate the colors that I use. But I try to tell them I can't see most of these colors. I have some semblance of a color there, but I don't know exactly what it is. To me, it looks green. To you, it might not be. Cool. We got our tree highlighted. I feel like he might use a yellow, like a straight yellow, because this all looks kind of, I don't want to say flat, but I mean, I guess it kind of does look flat. Oh, yeah, we got to do that. to highlight this or put in the tree down here. But we got it in. That's fine. Then pull it down. There we go. Putting in some highlights or reflections. Sorry. I don't know what I was using the blue color for. We'll have to figure that out later. Something else. It's in a very awkward position. Just wiping off my thing there. Alright, what are we doing? What are we doing? Blue, green. Oh, on the backside, interesting. Bluish green. We're putting, I don't know what we're doing here. Putting just a little bit of this blue color in there. I don't know what they call this. Mid-tone? Back? Something. We're almost there, you guys. I can't believe it. We're almost there. Come back in like this. Alright, he's putting in some little trunks. He's using some white. I'm gonna use that brown. A little bit of white. I'm praying at this point. I'm just gonna in. See, that was kind of nice. See that? I don't even really want that much of a trunk on these. Like, if you can't even see it, I think that's okay. Might add a little bit more white to that. So I have a dry 1-inch brush over here. How's that look? Bring that down. That's just for fun. My hand is very shaky. Turn your brush this way too. There we go. Oh, he's doing yellow. Straight yellow here. I don't know if it's straight yellow, but very green. I might just wash this brush out. I have too much dark color in there from the background that I was in. Yeah, that is a lot of paint there. Just make sure I get it all out. Look at all this paint in there. Yeah, I have a gallon of paint in this brush. That's pretty bad. I didn't think I had that much in there, but oh well. Alright. Back into the yellow. Hopefully, might need some white. Just poking it in really hard. You got a little bush here. And a little bush here. If this was cadmium yellow, it would look amazing. But this is just regular Hansa yellow. It's not as strong. What's he doing? You got one here. I might put some bushes in here. There we go. And then we gotta reflect these. Just some type of reflection. Green, yellow color. 2.5 inch. Same pressure that I put on the mountain highlights. Kind of the same type of deal here. Wipe this palette knife on. I believe we need highlights here. Or not highlights. Oh, he's doing more highlights. Gotta do a water line in here at some point. Grass. Now we'll get the white. None of that yellow. We don't want that yellow here. We'll throw some more. There, he's throwing in some more down here too. I'll do the same. There we go. Moss or something in there. There we go. Alright, we did those ones. I wanted to do one more painting, but I don't know if I'll have time to do it. I'm using the fan brush here, just blending out all these water lines. There we go. Cool. I want to scrape in some twigs. Something there. Maybe one there. One here. Maybe one more right there. There we go. Looks okay. Maybe. Alright. Oh, he did these old more aggressive. See, if you pull the water lines down, they turn into shore. So that's all I'm doing here. Because it looks like that's what he's doing. He's pulling out some shoreline. And then I can add an actual water line right now. This guy. I think that's good enough for now. Maybe straighten this one out because it's a little too bright. There we go. Alright, no more fiddling with it. Get my script liner. I'm just going to use, what are we going to use? Crimson and white, magic white, liquid white. I got pink color for the signature. That's all I got. Yellow, red, and blue. That's all we used today. That was interesting. Definitely learned a bit. Not sure what happened with the conked out. Maybe my computer messed up. I don't have the nicest computer for streaming. Not one of those fancy ones. With the GTX 3 billion or whatever. 3080. 2.2. There we go. Alright, we're done. We're done with that one. He's not done. He's fiddling with it still. Alright. That's done. Did I miss anything? I feel like I should put I want to put a big tree there, but we'll just call it that one. We won't go overboard. Let's take them down, see how we did. Go home. Alright. Here's the painting. Ooh, not bad. I did like the, I hope everyone learned something. If you did, let me know in the chat or in comments, whatever works for you. But, alright, that's all I got for today. Thanks everyone. I'll see you next week.